When I turned 50, my life changed forever. And as I head towards 60, I feel as if my life is going through another significant change. But this time round, I feel much more prepared. And in this video, I thought I would just talk about how I believe now that it's never too late to reinvent yourself, and it's never too late to take a different direction, even if you've not really planned for it. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bev. I've very recently retired at the age of 59, literally at the beginning of 2025. And for the last 7 years, I've been running my own business, but I didn't always have a business. From the age of 20 right through until I hit 52, I worked for the Royal Air Force, for the Ministry of Defence in the UK. I'd had one employer, although different jobs within that time, but I'd had one employer. And if I'm honest, I always thought I would just continue working with that same employer until I reached my state pension age of, well, it kept going up and up, to be honest, but I think when I left it was 67. And that was the trajectory of my life that I thought I was going to be on. But actually, when I turned 50, something shifted in me. I don't know what. I can't really put my finger on what that was. But I knew something changed. With hindsight, I think it was a midlife crisis or a midlife reevaluation maybe. But I don't think I was strategic about it. I wasn't thinking, I need to make some changes. I was just going through some, I guess, emotional challenges around turning 50. I wasn't very happy in the job that I was doing, and I'd recently moved from one role into another. So I turned 50 in the January, and I'd moved jobs the back end of the November before. So I'd been in a new role for just over a month when I turned 50. But something else happened on that day. I mean, I had my first hot flush, so menopause kind of showed its head, although I now realise that the perimenopause had been kind of churning away in the background for a few years before that. And I've looked back on lots of occasions and tried to figure out what was going on, and I genuinely can't specifically say what created the change. But by the time I reached 52, I'd made the decision to resign that long career, 32-year career by this point with the Ministry of Defence, and start a business of my own without any business acumen at all, and really without a clue what I was doing. But if you'd asked me in my 40s what I'd be doing in my 50s, running my own business would never, ever have entered my head as an option. But there are so many things that happened in my 50s that would never have opened up to me if I'd stayed in that same role. I was able to build a network of people I would have never been able to meet had I not made the shift. I was able to create an income that I don't think I'd have been able to create or generate within the role I was, certainly not within the role I was in, but within the organisation, without having to go for a lot of promotions and put up with a hell of a lot more BS than I was putting up with working for a big organisation anyway. Other things that kind of came up because I think I made that shift was realising I had ADHD. I don't think that would have happened. I don't know. You can never tell, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't say what might or might not have happened. But I don't believe I'd have been exposed to the types of people who opened my eyes to ADHD. I would never, I don't think, have written and published a book. I would never have got to stand on the TEDx stage and do a TED talk or a TEDx talk. I would never have been in a position where I was, partnering with companies like Channel 4 TV and Amnesty International and the UK Space Agency, and I just would never have known that could happen. I see some posts and videos and things on social media about people, men and women, in their 20s and 30s, and it feels like they think they've taken a path and that's the only path they can take, and that life is kind of taking over, or their life is what am I trying to say here, their life trajectory is, it's too late to do anything about it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I probably would have agreed with them in my 30s. I knew I wasn't in a job that was very fulfilling, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I didn't dread going to work, but it didn't fill me up with joy. I didn't feel like, it was my life's mission. But I probably did feel like it's hard to make a change. It's scary, isn't it, making a change? But when I see some of these younger adults feeling trapped or feeling like life is passing them by, I kind of want to get hold of them and shake them and say, no, no, it isn't. You can do anything you want, and you can make change, and you don't have to be stuck in the life that you're living right now. And yes, it can be scary. That is without a doubt true. But we are so quick, I think, to think about all of the things that could go wrong, or all of the things that we might regret. But we don't always think about what could go right, or how much we might regret not making the leap, not making the jump. And I just, the hindsight is a wonderful thing, but being able to look back over the last 9 years since I turned 50 and thinking of how my life has changed and the things I've been able to do and the people I've been able to meet, I could never have foreseen that. I couldn't have planned for it. I couldn't have sat down and mapped my life out, because you never know what's around the corner. You just don't. And sometimes you've just got to take a bit of a leap of faith and trust that even if it's a bit of an impulsive decision, which mine was to leave work, you'll figure it out. You'll what is that saying, jump and trust that you can pull the parachute cord and it'll open on the way down. I think I've just butchered that, whatever that saying might be, but you get the drift. And I guess what's the message I want for this video? I think it's that it's never too late to make a change, and when you do make that change, you never know what opportunities are going to open up to you. The weirdest thing, I retired in, my official date in my mind is the 1st of January 2025, although I'd probably started the process before that. But if you saw my video quite recently that I did about readjusting or adjusting to being retired, you'll see that, it hasn't been plain sailing from an emotional and a mental point of view. It's had its challenges, and I'm only not even 2 months into it yet. But change does take time. But I'm trusting that whatever comes next is going to be good. The opportunities, whatever they are, and I don't know what they are yet because they haven't opened up to me, they will come, and I will find my way, and it will be okay. And yes, there's going to be some emotional highs and lows along the way, and there are going to be some things that, I'm not going to enjoy about being retired. But I know from past experience that we can handle anything. We can handle whatever life throws at us, because we have highs and lows in everything, don't we? Life is always full of highs and lows, light and dark, day and night. But trusting that the change that I've made in taking retirement is the right decision, I have to trust that. And I've got the evidence from my life when I made another change at 50. It all works out well. It works out right in the end. Anyway, let me tell you very briefly about what I want to do with this channel. I put out a poll, going a little bit off piste here, but I put out a poll on my community posts feed, asking what people like. Do you like the head to camera type stuff? This, just basically me talking to head to camera. Do you like more vlog style stuff? Do you like the walk and talks? Or do you like the very sort of highly polished, sitting in the office with great lighting and all the rest of it, probably with a teleprompter so it's very polished? Because I know that I get bored doing the same type of content. So I got some answers from that poll. What I gleaned is that people quite like the vlog style, and they quite like me sitting in the car just talking to the camera, which is useful because I quite like filming in the car. It's a very easy setup. I do tend to find when I'm driving, that's when I have the time to kind of get reflective thoughts, and I have ideas, and my ADHD brain likes to act impulsively. So if I have an idea, like I did for this video, I just was sort of thinking how my life is changing, and then I started thinking about how it changed actually when I was 50, and that was the inspiration for just stopping the car, parking up, getting the camera out and talking to the camera. So I quite like the head to camera in the car, but I also like the vlog style. So what I'm planning to try and do, I don't want to make a solid commitment because I'm trying to avoid commitments and deadlines, but my plan is to hopefully do a sort of a vlog style post once a week, and potentially just one of these sitting in the car or walk and talk, although that wasn't particularly it didn't score very highly on the poll, me going out and sort of going for a walk and doing a talking head type video while I'm walking. That didn't seem to come out very highly, but I quite enjoy doing them. So I'm waffling a little bit here. So yes, the plan is to do one vlog style post. At the minute, the vlog is very much, if you saw my last video, that was one of the vlogs about kind of getting on and doing a revamp of my office, a project for my retirement. So the plan is to do one of those and a head to camera type talking, just, one of these really every week. So probably one of this style at the weekend and a vlog one midweek, and see how that goes. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think that would work for you? Would you like that kind of content? It also means if you don't like the vlog style but you like the head to camera, you can just skip the vlogs when you see them pop up and then just watch the head to camera ones, or vice versa, or hopefully you'll like them enough to watch both, who knows. But let me know in the comments, what's your preference, and also let me know, how do you feel about change? Does change frighten you? Does it excite you? I think there's no doubt that change can be challenging, but do you see that challenge as something that is motivating or terrifying? Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.